Redbridge, it's Mama G here, and I am very excited to have been asked back by the lovely people at Redbridge Libraries to give you some story time with Mama G fun this February, which also happens to be LGBT History Month. So I'm going to be telling you stories throughout the month all about being who you want and loving who you are. I'll be back every week, and this is the very first story time with Mama G. Here we go. It's story time with Mama G. Come and hear a story with me. Love who you want and be who you are. Learn these lessons and we'll go far. It's story time. Story time. Story time with Mama G. Now, the first story I'm going to tell is an absolute classic of mine, even if I do say so myself, and it is called Twinkle Twinkle Little Roar. Now, before I tell you this story, I do need to teach you some actions. They're quite a well-known nursery rhyme, but it does take a little Mama G twist, so don't get too comfortable. Now, the actions go like this. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. Let's try that one, shall we? Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. Very good. Let's move on. How I love you more and more. Let's try that one by itself. How I love you more and more. Oh, wonderful. Let's put those two together and see how we get on. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. How I love you more and more. Very good. Let's carry on. Up above the sky so high, you're the apple of my eye. Let's try that one all together. Up above the sky so high, you're the apple of my eye. Very nice. And then we go back to the beginning. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. How I love you more and more. Oh, wonderful. Aren't you good? Now, who's feeling brave enough to try it with some music? Hands at the ready. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar, how I love you more and more. Up above the sky so high, you're the apple of my eye. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar, how I love you more and more. Oh, wonderful. Give yourselves a round of applause. Oh, that was marvellous. Well, in that case, I think you are ready for the story. Little Roar was a dinosaur, the smallest you could imagine. But he wasn't terribly fearsome, though, which was terribly out of fashion. And he wasn't really called Little Roar. He was really called T-Rex. But rather than bite and tear things apart, he liked to cuddle other T-Rex's necks. And some dinos thought this funny. They thought him really strange. They thought, you can't be cute, you dummy, else the history books must change. But our tiny dino friend thought nothing of it for a while. He'd bounce and skip and jump and hop. Being cute does make you smile. And Mummy Rex did her best to ensure that Little Roar never found out his nickname was mean. She'd sing him a rhyme every time the truth came close to being seen. And I think you all know how that rhyme goes. Let's give it a try. Here we go. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar, how I love you more and more. Up above the sky so high. You're the apple of my eye. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar, how I love you more and more. But as little Roar grew up, the name grew with him too. And soon it wasn't just a name, it was who he was to boot. He became quiet, shy, and by the by, the other dinos never saw him. In fact, he became so invisible, you couldn't even say that they ignored him. But Mummy Rex wasn't worried. She knew he was her little star, and she knew that sometimes it takes a little time to work out who you are. Well, years went by and nothing happened. Then one day, just like that, a new T-Rex family moved in next door, and the mum wore outrageous hats. Little Roar swore he had never seen anything so delightful. Mummy Rex wasn't keen. She thought them obscene. In fact, she thought them frightful. But there was no denying these hats were a millinery miracle in action. They inspired something in Little Roar, you could say a millinery passion. He spent hours recreating all the hats his neighbour would have on, and then he'd host a fashion show and invite the other dinosaurs along. Some would come to laugh and point, and some would take the mickey, but some would find that very soon getting in was very tricky. And after a while, Little Roar realised, well, he no longer heard the other dinos snigger. Thanks to his neighbour and her funny hats, his Little Roar was getting bigger. And his hats became so popular, he opened a store that bore his name. The hats went flying off the shelves. Little Roar had a claim to fame. Now, the lady dinos loved his hats, but the men were much less keen. Little Roar wore them, of course, but pause. What has he just seen? At the latest fashion show, something amazing has just happened. A boy Rex has walked in wearing a hat, and it's one that Little Roar fashioned. Well, of course they talk and have a chat, and of course the talk is all about hats. They smile and laugh and have a little flirt. Well, why not? Flirting never hurts. And Mummy Rex is watching. Oh, she can't believe what she is seeing. But gosh, it makes her proud. Whoever thought that one day her Little Roar would roar so loud? She sees him there fully formed, finally knowing who he is. He's the star that she had born, but all the burning bright is his. And now the name Little Roar has faded. Oh, it's faded oh so far. Because when you work out who you are, you'll twinkle, twinkle like a star. And I think one more time, just for Little Roar. Twinkle, twinkle, little Roar, how I love you more and more. Up above the sky so high, you're the apple of my eye. Twinkle, twinkle, little Roar, how I love you more and more. Oh, wonderful! Oh, I do hope you enjoyed that story. That is one of my absolute favourites. Well, it's almost time for me to go, but I'm going to finish in the traditional manner. and that is with a song. And this song you've probably seen me sing before, but again, it's one of my favourites because it's all about doing what makes you happy. And the thing that makes me happiest is being a pantomime dame and getting to tell you all stories. So this is If You're Happy and You Know It, but the pantomime dame version. So be sure to join in, have a bit of a boogie. Here we go. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're tired of wearing hats, then wear a wig. Whoop, woo! If you're tired of wearing hats, then wear a wig. Whoop, woo! If you're tired of wearing hats, I can help you out with that. If you're tired of wearing hats, then wear a wig. Whoop, woo! If sequins are your style, then shimmy and shake. Ooh! If sequins are your style, then shimmy and shake. Ooh! If sequins are your style, and they really make you smile. If sequins are your style, then shimmy and shake. Ooh! If you're good at telling jokes, then have a laugh. Ha, 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 ha. If you're good at telling jokes, then have a laugh. Ha, 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 ha. If you're good at telling jokes, better than the other folks. If you're good at telling jokes, then have a laugh. Ha, 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 ha. If you're feeling fabulous, then shout, I am, I am. If you're feeling fabulous, then shout, I am, I am. If you're feeling fabulous, just like the rest of us. If you're feeling fabulous, then shout, I am, I am. Oh, wonderful! I hope you enjoyed that song. Well, thank you so much for joining me today for the first story time with Mama G of Redbridge Libraries LGBT History Month. If you'd like to find out more information from the libraries about their LGBT History Month activities, then go to the link that's posted somewhere on this page, and you'll also find some reading lists with recommended books for children and teenagers. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. Just search for Mama G Stories. I've also got a podcast that you can download, and you can hear me on Glitterbeam Radio every Sunday at 1 p.m. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you all next week for more story time with Mama G. Bye. It's story time with Mama G. Come and hear a story with me. Love who you want to be, who you are. Learn these lessons and we'll go far. It's story time. Story time. Story time with Mama G.